How do Gobblegums actually work? Is there a way to earn them faster? What's the best way to earn legendary and ultra Gobblegums? Well, today I spent all day figuring out exactly how Gobblegums work, and I found stuff that's pretty interesting. So what I did, what you beautiful people might already know, is I recorded a whole bunch of games on an entire day's like 8 hours worth of game time. The goal of this session was to do weapon XP and augments. However, this gave me a beautifully clean look at the Gobblegum system as well. And of course, here I have 17 games worth of a spreadsheet of all of these Gobblegums here. So let's walk you through them. These first games I was testing out exfilling at round 15, and I usually got one Gobblegum per game. Got one at round 6, I got one at round 5. If you're wondering what these 16 is, it's the Whimsical Gobblegums. And I'm just gonna say right now, I kind of just threw those out because I think those are extra. If you don't know how Whimsical Gobblegums work, from rounds 15 to 29, if you exfil, you can have one Whimsical Gobblegum. From round 30 to 44, you get 2 Whimsical Gobblegums. And from round 45 plus, you get 3 Whimsical Gobblegums if you successfully exfil. Also, Treyarch, it would be really nice to see that on the screen somewhere because I feel like people are really confused about that still. But anyway, you can see right here, we've got round 6, round 5, we got 1. Round game 3, we got 3 Gobblegums. We'll get to that. 3 Gobblegums here. Rare, what is that? Legendary. Game 4, we didn't get any Gobblegums. Game 5, we had the Rampage Inducer, and we got 2 Gobblegums really quickly here. This is another round 15 game. We got it at round 15. We exfiled there. Our first day, new day, round 20, we got a Perkaholic on round 14. Moving on down, we got that. This is a Rampage Inducer that we got on round 3. Pretty interesting. Game 10. Game 11, 12, you can see we've got 2 Gobblegums here. Lots of this stuff you can see. Game 16, round 35. This is very interesting. This is the first round 35 I'd done all day, and I got 4, count them, 4 separate occurrences of Gobblegums. And I guess that's my vernacular that you might need to learn. I'm counting the occurrence as when that Gobblegum slot machine shows up. So for example, game 11, round 13, I have 1 occurrence of getting Gobblegums, even though I'm getting 3 Gobblegums. So that's all the raw data there. Let's head on over to this part of the spreadsheet, and you can kind of see a little bit here, maybe the workings of how this all works. Now, I should say this round 16 here, we should definitely get rid of that. We should definitely get rid of that, make that 1. Same thing here. We can get rid of these guys because these are all Whimsicals. And there we go. All right, that looks a little bit better here. Here you can see the first issue. This is not a lot of Gobblegums to test out. This is a terrible sample size, which is why I want your help. From what it looks like, it almost looks like around here, it looks like there might be a little bit of a taper here that, hey, you know, maybe the higher rounds you go, the more rare Gobblegums you're gonna get. And that might be true, except on round 7, we've got this Ultra, which I believe was a Raindrops. We've got this guy on round 9, which is a Legendary. It's really hard to say. I'm going to keep updating this with more Gobblegums as I keep playing, especially as we get down into the 50s and 40s and all this stuff down here. That's what I'm really interested in, to see if this kind of sways or tapers off in this direction. We start getting less of these rares, or if we just start getting more. I don't know. I've never seen us get 4 or 5 Gobblegums outside of like the Gobblegum pack that you get at Prestige 1 level 20 or something. In terms of the specific Gobblegums, here's what we got. Stock option, cash back. We got a lot of arsenal. We got a lot of shields up, which is actually awesome. That gum is a lot more powerful than people think. Nowhere but there, completely useless for me. I don't do public matches at all. I do a lot of solo games here, but we do have 2 Raindrops, 1 Perkaholic, and of course we got Newtonian Negation and Indigestion, just whimsical stuff down there. Again, pretty garbage sample size, but again, this was 8 hours of pure gameplay. And really, what does this tell us about the frequency or how we get Gobblegums? Well, to me, it all looks pretty darn random to me. We're getting them at round 3, 13, 19, 15, 9, 10. It looks as though, hear me out, I do not believe that Gobblegums are round-based. That being said, you always get them at the end of a round. That is really strange for me. I thought it was going to be like round-based, but it doesn't look like that. It's not the Black Ops 3 system because you don't need to purchase anything like we would with Liquid Divinium. And it's not the Cold War system because clearly we're getting random amounts here. You see, round 13, we're getting 3, but then here, around 22, 24, 36, we're only getting 1. So it's not the Cold War like Ethereum crystal system where at the end of every like milestone, we're getting more and more Gobblegums. That's the system that I would personally want. I would love to have almost like how Whimsicals work. You know, you reach this round, you get so many Gobblegums. You reach this round, you get so many Gobblegums, or a chance that, you know, and then as the rounds progress, you get a higher and higher chance of these legendary and ultras, like kind of how In the higher rounds of Cold War, you got a higher chance of the rarer Ethereum crystals or whatever. But now let's head on down here because I actually did more. What I did was I took all of these rounds, I took all of this game time and I recorded all of it. And I put it here in Premiere in this really long timeline. You can see it's about 8 hours long. And I cut out all of the pauses. I cut out all of the exfils, not like the actual gameplay of the exfils. I kept the gameplay in. I just, as soon as I went into the helicopter, I ended it. So this is all just pure game time. And I marked right here all of the times that we got ourselves a Gobblegum occurrence. And remember, an occurrence is when we get awarded one of these spins right here. Even though, for example, this occurrence right here, we got 3 Gobblegums, I still only counted it as 1 occurrence. And so then I took all of these timestamps right here, and then I put them back into this spreadsheet right here, this time code, again with the number of gums right there, just to keep it consistent, wrote out what the gums were right here, and then I said time since last occurrence, and I thought maybe it's time-based. And I got an average of 1 Gobblegum occurrence every 22 or 21 minutes or so. However, looking at some of these outliers, like this 2-minute one right here, this was game number 5 where we got one 2 minutes away from our first one. And you can see other variables right here where we got them really close. So if we do a little bit of mathematical sweeping under the rug here, we could get rid of these outliers, which in some situations is okay in the scientific process. You could see the graph is somewhat consistent. It looks as though the real average is going to be somewhere around 25 minutes. Again, they might not be time-based, and especially once we put these guys back in, like, this is 8 hours worth of Gobblegum, pure game time. You would think after 8 hours of game time that we would see some sort of pattern. And this is the rounds, right? This is the rounds. I also did the rounds down here. Basically the same thing. Here's the round that we got the Gobblegum in. Here's some fun magic for you. Here's how many rounds between the last gum we got. And again, it looks crazy. We take away the outliers here. And again, same sort of thing, like 10 to 20 rounds. I don't know. It just doesn't, it looks like nothing. It looks like madness to me. In terms of like this stuff, like way up here, in terms of how many we're getting, yeah, we're getting a lot of rare, some epic, a few were legendary, and not a lot of ultra. So that makes sense. Like the proportions, the RNG between these guys. Oh yeah, that's great. That makes perfect sense. But in terms of when the heck we get them, or even how we get even more, I am at a loss, except I have one final conspiracy theory. I don't know. It's not a conspiracy. I have a hypothesis here. The way Nebulium Plasma worked in Black Ops 4. For those of you who don't know, Nebulium Plasma was the secondary currency that got us elixirs, which is kind of similar to Gobblegums back in Black Ops 4. The way that you got Nebulium Plasma was this. The game would check every 3 minutes if you have earned 1500 XP. So every 3 minutes, if you've earned 1500 XP, it would give you a Nebulium Plasma. I'm not wondering if there's not some sort of algorithm or some sort of weighted thing like that for Gobblegums. It will give you a Gobblegum every 20 minutes if you've earned 20,000 XP or something. That's what I'm predicting. I'm gonna set up a brand new spreadsheet because what I'm gonna do is I am going to play a game until I get a Gobblegum, and then I'm going to quit out of the game and I'm going to restart over and I'm going to have a spreadsheet with Gobblegum, round, XP gained, and all that stuff. I'm just going to quit. I'm not even going to exfil. I'm just going to quit as soon as that Gobblegum pops up. But I really wanted to dig in deep with you here and see if there's anything I'm missing. I'm only one man. You are many. You are thousands and hundreds and great, and you have great minds. So I wanted to give it to you beautiful people. What has been your experience? Is there any rhyme or reason behind your Gobblegum earnings? Because then we're talking conspiracy theories. I'm going to give a huge shout out to MZC here. Please go check out his channel. He and I have been talking about this. He's been doing the same thing I have, just researching. He has a lot more stats. He's done a lot more stuff. He's camo grinding. He's taking care of all that stuff. So he's got probably better numbers than I do. He seems to believe that it's tied to your player rank, and there might potentially be some maybe nefarious stuff going on with some sort of like skill-based matchmaking type Gobblegum system. Now, I'm gonna let him give all of his proofs. I don't want to steal his thunder, but I just wanted to throw out that idea to you, and specifically because this one game right here, this was around 35. This was the highest round that I had been to that day. The rest of my days, it was, you know, I just had a death. I did around 30, I did around 30, I did around 20. These were all round 20s. That was a Rampage Inducer. So when I got this round 35, maybe the magical algorithm was like, hey, let's reward him for that. So let's give him a 36. Let's give him more. But like, how does it know at round 22 that I'm going to reach around 35, and so to give me one around 25, I don't know. The conspiracy theory is that this little graph here is relative to your own personal rounds. So if your highest round is 20, if you struggle a lot to get past round 20, but you're still earning enough ultras, maybe this graph is a lot smaller for you. But for someone who gets to round 50 consistently, maybe this whole thing is spread out a little bit more to incentivize you to keep pushing past your limit. I don't know. That's the conspiracy theory. He also says, and he, like I said, probably has more proof. He also thinks that there's something tied between the Rampage Inducer and Gobblegums. Again, I'm going to do that. I'm going to test that out, but I just want to throw it out here for you. The 2 times I used the Rampage Inducer, I got one at round 10 and then round 12 right back to back. And then the next game I got it right at round 3, but then I went, 17 rounds without getting another one. So takeaways from this: Gobblegums do not appear to be round based. The rarity of the Gobblegums seem to be working just fine. The best guess that I have is that there is some sort of time gate plus an XP check in order to trigger a Gobblegum occurrence. In terms of why the heck we get more than one, your guess is as good as mine. Let's spin a wheel, throw a dart. I don't know. I am not done testing this. I'm not giving up. I'm not throwing in the towel. I am asking for a little bit of help. Please let me know in the comment section, what are you guys finding? And is there any way to make any sense of this? If there's a developer out there, please reach out, Twitter, Discord, whatever. I'm here. I want to know. I've done a lot of stuff here and I have no idea. And if you're looking for a little bit more certainty, well, I am fairly certain that everybody's got XP wrong. Ranking up fast is not what you think, and earning more augments is probably not what you think either. If you want to find out all of my research for that, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.